Man, they gonna be wrecking. Hey, man, we a week out. Yeah, man, I know y'all ain't heard from me in a while, but I had to come. I think we have the biggest fight that we have had in the last couple of years coming this month, next week, end. And man, I definitely apologize, man, but I haven't left you comfortless. I know that there's plenty of analysts, pundits, and others out there ready to give you their take on matches. I've just been busy, but hopefully I can be more frequent with my videos. And if you like my analogies and my commentary, then hit that like and subscribe button. I'm doing this in one take, and I don't really have the time, man. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't had the bandwidth to do any videos. I've been busy doing some other things, some productive things that I'm trying to get done. But anyway, Saul Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Bud Crawford. Who do I think is going to win? Well, I mean, first of all, I gotta say that Father Time is undefeated, and you're only good as your last fight. And you never know when Father Time is going to show up. Terrence Crawford will be 38 this month. Just think, 30 years ago, 38, you were an old boxer. You were considered far past your prime. And so, this is going to be a tough one because it's hard to say. I don't know what to say, really, to be honest, because I think it depends on if Terrence Crawford can take the heat and endure the weight that he has put on for this fight. Canelo Alvarez is comfortable at fighting at 165. He's comfortable with that. He's been doing that for years now. And he's even fought at 175. So he's fought at heavier weights. And he's at 168, has been the undisputed champion at 168. And he's used to fighting at 168. It's easy to think in your mind as a person like Crawford to think that I will be able to handle that weight over 12 rounds if it has to go 12 rounds. But when you are not actually in a big bout against really arguably the best Mexican fighter of all times, I still think Chavez is the number one Mexican fighter of all times, but Canelo is pushing on his heels. It's like the LeBron Jordan argument. I think that before it's said and done, Canelo could be considered the greatest Mexican boxer of all times. Who knows? But what I do know is that Father Time is undefeated. And if you're not prepared, if you're not ready to fight, I mean, he's essentially moving up 3 weight classes. Terrence Bud Crawford is essentially moving up 3 weight classes. Of course, I think Terrence Bud Crawford is the better fighter, without question. But you heard the cliche, they have weight classes for a reason. And to jump up essentially 3 weight classes, carrying around or walking around at 170, 180 is not the same as boxing 12 rounds with a world-class fighter at 168. It's just not the same thing. Just because you're used to walking with that weight or even training at that weight, we all know that being in a fight, a world-class fight, championship fight, is a whole different situation. And being able to withstand the power that accumulates over time, the punches that accumulates over time at that weight class at 168, I gotta see if Bud Crawford can handle that. I don't think he's gonna run like Jermell Charlo did. And I think he's going to throw a lot more punches than Jermell Charlo did. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think he's going to go toe-to-toe with Canelo. I think he will pick his spots, meaning that he will exchange in certain spots. That's just turns Bud Crawford. And I don't think the weight class is going to prevent him from doing that. Unlike Charlo, he just bowed down. He was scared to get knocked out. He was scared to get embarrassed. I don't think Terrence Bud Crawford is going to carry that type of mentality in there. I think Bud thinks he really can beat Canelo. He's not afraid. I think Jermell Charlo took the fight for the money. I don't think he really believed that he can beat Canelo. I think Bud Crawford really believes and feels that he can beat Canelo from the surface to deep down inside himself. I think he really believes, without question, he can beat Canelo. And so it's going to be a different type of fight than with Jermell Charlo. If Bud can withstand the punches, if it goes 12 rounds, I don't think that Canelo, even though now I do have to mention that Canelo hasn't had a knockout in a while. And he's been winning unanimous decisions. Outside of shadiness with the judges, if the fight goes 12 rounds, I don't see Canelo beating Bud Crawford. I just don't see it. Why? Because I think that he's the better boxer, and I think that he will not be afraid to take chances. Now, who would I bet on though? Because of the weight class, I would bet with Canelo Alvarez. So in other words, I'm saying that, am I saying who's gonna win, who I think is gonna win? Probably so when I say I will put my money with Canelo Alvarez. But I think if it goes 12 rounds, Bud will win. Will it go 12 rounds? That is the question. Because I know that heat is going to be on Bud. Those punches are going to be on Bud. I know his defense is going to be impeccable. But we know that over time, those punches, even if they're hitting your arms, can wear you down, can bruise up. You can feel the pain. But we'll see. So finally, what am I going to say? I would bet with Canelo Alvarez just because of the weight class. He's a world-class fighter, without question. I believe Bud Crawford has more tools in the toolbox. And Canelo, he's sparring with, or has sparred with, Jaron Boots Ennis. He's trying to prepare for Crawford. But I guess only time will tell. Will Father Time show up? Who knows? But we'll see. That's what it is, folks. I'll talk to you next time.